Most 9-to-5 workers think the path to a million is saving pennies, skip the coffee, stop going out, play small. That's bullshit. If saving $4 on Starbucks made you rich, every broke person would be a millionaire. This video is different. I'm giving you 7 money tips that actually work. Practical moves I use to go from a broke plumber in Denmark to $50 million. No scarcity, no fluff, no get rich overnight lies, just the real way out of the 9-to-5. Tip number 1, cut the alcohol. I grew up in that culture. My dad told me when he started plumbing at 17, the guys would crack open half liters of beer in the van at 5 in the morning on the way to Copenhagen. 3 guys already half drunk before the first job. If the electrician wasn't ready, they will hit the diner for more beers. On the way home, even more beers. When I became a plumber, times have of course changed. We couldn't drink doing work anymore. But after work, every weekend with my friends, whether they were carpenters, mechanics, electricians, it was drinking. That's what we did. And if you are in that trade, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But here's the thing, when I hadn't made my first million yet, when I was still broke, I had to make a decision. Every night out wasn't just costing me $100 or $200. It was costing me my future. Because here's how it really works. You spend, let's say, $150 on a night out. But to earn that $150, depending on taxes, you had to make closer to $220, maybe $250. Then you wake up the next day with your brain foggy, your energy drained, your motivation gone. That's why half the guys you work with left for Friday, spent Saturday drunk, and spent Sunday hungover, then complain Monday that life never changes. So you didn't just lose $150, you lost time. You lost your capacity to focus. You lost the hours you could have been building your way out of the 9-to-5. And listen, don't come to me with saving $4 on Starbucks. That's bullshit. If saving on coffee made people rich, every broke person would already be a millionaire by now. What's keeping you broke isn't the coffee. It's dropping hundreds on alcohol and losing entire weekends you will never get back. If you are serious about becoming a millionaire, you got to cut the bottle. I'm not saying forever, not saying you can't enjoy yourself, but if you're still in the trenches, still fighting to get out of the 9-to-5, you can't afford to waste money and days of your life like that. Millionaires are built on discipline, not hangovers. Now, tip number 2, learn a high income skill. When I was a plumber, I thought the answer was save more, work overtime, put more money aside, try to stretch every single paycheck. But here's what I learned. You can only save so much. There is a ceiling on how much you can actually cut back. So instead of asking, how can I save more? You got to start asking, how can I make more? And the only way to make more money is by learning high income skills. Skills like sales, marketing, content creation, and listen, AI is taking jobs left and right now. But it's not replacing the guy who knows how to sell, how to use marketing, how to build an audience with or without showing your face. Those skills are the reason I went from crawling under sinks to running a multiple 8-figure business online. The guys who stay stuck are the ones trying to pinch every single penny. The ones who escape are the ones who build skills that actually pays them. So if you want to make a million, stop obsessing over what you can cut. Start mastering the skills that increases your value and your income. And if you're not sure where to start, I got a full video breaking down the best business models this year and which one fits you the best. Watch this one first, then go check out the next video. Now, tip number 3, invest in yourself before anything else. Here's where most 9-to-5 workers get it wrong. They think if I just put $5 a week into stocks or crypto, one day I will be a millionaire. Let me tell you something. If that's your plan, you will be dead before you ever see the goddamn million. The fastest return on investment you will ever get in life isn't from a stock, It isn't from a bond. It isn't from crypto. It's from betting on yourself. I will never forget this thing here. I was broke, living in that basement apartment back in Denmark, $20,000 in debt, addicted, stuck, and one night I scraped together $9.95 to buy my first book ever with my own money, The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. That book punched me in the face with one simple line. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself. You see, I didn't have money for real estate. I didn't have a stock portfolio. I didn't even have a savings account. But I had me. And that's when it clicked. Every dollar I put into my own education, into books, into mentorships, into courses, into learning skills, it all came back 100 times. That $9.95 gave me the mindset to stop playing small. Later, when I scraped together more money, I didn't even have to join my first mentorship. That one step took me further than every smart saving tip I have ever heard in my life. And that one decision changed my entire life. Because I wasn't just buying some product. I was buying access. I was buying belief. I was buying new skills that nobody could ever take away from me. Fast forward, that same philosophy took me from being a broke plumber to building a $50 million empire. Not because I saved my way there, not because I was smart with investments, but because I invested in me before anyone else. So here's the truth. If you're still scared to spend money on yourself, you're not serious about becoming wealthy or even to make $1 million. You will throw $150 at alcohol in a weekend, but won't spend $150 on a course that could change your income forever. Start putting money where it actually multiplies, into the only asset you will have for life, and that is you. Tip number 4, change your environment before it destroys you. Back in Denmark, every single person I hung around with was broke. Carpenters, electricians, mechanics, all good people, don't get me wrong, but all stuck in the same cycle. And every Friday night, what did we do? We drank stupid shit, drugs. That was simply just the culture. If you didn't drink, you were weird. If you talked about building something bigger, people, they laughed at you. And I get it. If that's your circle, you simply just think it's normal. You don't even realize your dreams are being murdered slowly by the people you spend time with. So here's the thing. Your environment decides your destiny. If everyone around you is broke, you will stay broke. If everyone around you is drinking, you will keep drinking. If everyone around you is stuck in the same job, you will stay stuck in the same job. I remember the first time I got around winners. It wasn't in Denmark. It was when I finally scraped money together, joined a group of winners online. And for the first time in my life, I was on a call with people who were actually building businesses, actually making money, actually winning in life. And I realized something painful. The only reason I hadn't made progress yet was because I was surrounded by losers. Fast forward to today, I live in Dubai, surrounded by people who push me higher every single day. Out here, making $10,000 a month is considered average. If you tell someone you're grinding for $1 million, they don't laugh at you. They not, because that's just normal. That's the power of your environment. You see, back in Denmark, dreaming about $1 million made me the crazy one. The same way if you tell your coworkers you want more than just a paycheck, they laugh and say, be grateful for what you got. That's not a fucking advice, that's a trap. In Dubai, dreaming about $1 million makes me the quiet one. So listen, if you are serious about becoming a millionaire, change your environment. Stop wasting time with coworkers who only live for the weekend. Stop hanging with people who spend their entire paycheck on goddamn books. Get around winners. Get inside mentorship. Join communities where success is simply the baseline, not the exception. Because here's the reality. Your environment will either trap you or transform you. Tip number 5, stop letting debt dictate your destiny. Listen, I get it. You got a car loan, credit cards, maybe even a mortgage. Hell, maybe you even financed a TV or the newest iPhone. you couldn't afford. I have seen guys finance an iPhone just to look rich while still stressing over gas money. And here's what most so-called experts will tell you. Pay off your debt before you invest in yourself. Listen, that's bullshit. That advice will keep you broke until you're 65. When I was in debt, living in that basement apartment, I didn't sit there thinking, let me pay this off $200 at the time for the next 10 years. No, I sold my furniture. I borrowed money from my mom. I called my bank and begged to restructure the payments. I did whatever it took to free up just enough cash to buy my first mentorship and invest in myself. And that was the move that changed everything, because here's the thing, paying debt slowly doesn't make you rich, but investing in yourself can. And don't get me wrong, you honor your minimum payments, you keep the wolves at the door. But your priority isn't about killing debt, it's killing the old version of you that created it. You do that by learning high income skills, by building something that makes the debt irrelevant. The fastest way out isn't playing safe, it's betting on yourself. Step number 6, dream bigger than you can handle. Dream so big that when you tell it to the average guy, he looks at you like you are out of your fucking mind. And then you dream 10 times bigger. When I was still plumbing, stuck in that basement apartment, I was daydreaming every day. And I wasn't just dreaming, I was writing that shit down, morning and night. I even taped my goals to the door in that basement. So when I left 5 in the morning to sit in traffic for hours, covered in sweat, heading to fix toilets, I didn't just walk out the door, I walked past my future. Every morning, I looked at those words and I thought, that's what I'm fighting for. That's why I'm doing this shit here. And here's the thing, I didn't write them down like I wish they would happen. I wrote them down like they had already happened. I am the first millionaire in my family. I retired my mom. I drive a Lambo. I own real estate that pays me every month. And guess what? I've done all of them, every single one. Back then, I was driving a beat-up Opel Vectra. The car was literally falling apart. And by the way, I also sold that car to buy more mentorship. And I used to take that thing and drive through some of the richest neighborhoods back in Denmark. Now, most guys drive home, park outside their little apartment and turn on Netflix to binge watch Squid Game, watching someone else fight for their life instead of fighting for their goddamn own. I would stare at the houses, the cars, the lives those people had, and I would say to myself, one day this will be mine. That vision pulled me through hell. Instead of dreading another 10-hour day, I was hyped just walking out the door because I knew I was heading there. And I tell you this, before you can hold it in your hands, you have to see it in your mind. Every empire starts as a vision only you can see. The question is, are you willing to believe in it when nobody else does? Tip number 7, be willing to sacrifice. You want to know why I became the first millionaire in my family in just 2 years? It wasn't luck. It wasn't some secret hack. It was sacrifice. When I was in debt and stuck in my 9-to-5, I made a decision. I will do whatever it takes. And I mean whatever. I sacrificed nightlife. I sacrificed friends. I sacrificed Netflix, parties, weekends. When my boys called me, I told them I wasn't home. Even if I was just sitting in that shitty basement, grinding. After 10, 12 hours as a plumber, I would hit the gym because 70% of millionaires train their body like they train their business. Then I would meal prep, slam some oatmeal together and work on my business until 2 in the morning. Up again at 5, shower, 2 hours in traffic, back on the grind. Weekends, no rest. I took extra plumbing jobs. I even cleaned houses just to make more money to invest into mentorship. And that's the difference. Most people think they are too good for hard work. I was willing to scrub toilets if it meant one day I would finally break free. And let me tell you, cleaning toilets for strangers will humble you real quick. It's hard physical work, but that's what it takes. I sacrificed the girls, nights out, distractions. That stuff has its time and place, but not when you're broke and trying to climb out of it. You want woman, you want status, you want freedom, build yourself first, because when you got millions, all of that comes easy. So here's the thing. If you want to become a millionaire fast, not in 10, 15, 20 years, you need to sacrifice now. You need to cut the shit that doesn't move you forward. You need to be obsessed. Sacrifice isn't forever, but it is required. Most people aren't willing to pay that price. That's why most people will stay stuck forever. But if you're watching this and you're serious, then commit. Sacrifice now so you never have to again. And there you have it. The 7 money tips to become a millionaire. Now listen, none of this will happen overnight. There is no such thing as get rich quick, but there is such a thing as get rich quicker. And that comes down to how fast you move, the velocity in which you make money, and the velocity in which you reinvest it into yourself. This is the process. This is a journey. And the first step is always the hardest. But once you take it, everything will change for you. So here's what to do now. Click the video in the description where I break down the best business models for 9-to-5 workers who want out. That's where you learn the high income skills that actually pays you. That's where it all starts. Don't just nod your head and click away. Take the step, because here's the thing. The years are going to pass anyway. You can either stay stuck watching Netflix and complaining about your boss, or you can look back 12 months from now as the first millionaire in your family. The only regret you will ever have is not starting sooner. Let's get it.